more. Because of pollution, because of fishing, because of climate change. We're not certain of what population numbers we can have. We know that they are falling rapidly and they're highly endangered in many parts of the world, yet they have no proper legal protection whatsoever, be it in national countries like Japan or international agreements like CITES. And that's just not right. The way that these animals are killed, the way that no one is keeping track of the impact on their numbers is an absolute disgrace. And the fact that the Japanese government think they can get away with this and the rest of the world will fall silent is not going to happen anymore. What I'm really pleased about is that this issue is back on the top of the media agenda again. But it's not on the top of the media agenda because of the newspapers and the television, it's because of people like you here in the cities around the world. The growing power of social media, because you're putting it on Twitter, you're putting it on Facebook, you're getting angry, you're forcing CNN, you're forcing Al Jazeera and the BBC to get this back on our television screens, to tell us the real horror that is going on in Taiji and the other parts of Japan today as well. We know that the Cove in 2009 was a great film. We know it deserved an Oscar, but it's now 5 years ago, and memories are very short, and all of us here must keep this on the global media agenda, because this is an absolute disgrace. Now what happens in Taiji impacts all of us who care about wildlife, all of us that care about the future and protection of intelligent animals like dolphins. As I said, over 20,000 of these animals are killed off the Japanese coast every year. Nearly 2,000 to 2,500 of them are killed in Taiji Cove. Now there are many issues around Taiji, lots of discussion about culture, and we saw our friend on the road earlier on saying that we're all terrorists by not understanding the need for Japanese people to eat dolphin meat. Let me tell you something about dolphin meat. It's pretty disgusting stuff. No one really wants to eat it. It's got lots of mercury in it, so it's pretty unhealthy as well, and most of it is passed off as whale meat in the Japanese market to get a bit more valuable. And all of a sudden, people don't want to generally eat whale meat in Japan either, and most of that ends up as dog food. So that's what we're really talking about here. All these animals are being killed largely to end up as dog food. That's an absolute disgrace. And the actual killing of these animals, we know over the years the Japanese have been ashamed. They tried to hide it from the public, putting tarpaulin, putting barriers in so that you can't see what's really going on, and trying to ensure, they say, that they kill these animals in a humane way. We no longer cut their throats, they tell you. We no longer have the sea running red with the blood of these dead animals. No, we take them out of the water in a humane way. We put them together and then we stick spikes into their spinal cord. And that kills them quickly, we're told. Well, it doesn't. We know that scientists and veterinary experts will tell you it takes about 7 minutes to kill a dolphin like that, in excruciating pain. Not only that, they do it in front of the other dolphins that they're killing too. These animals, in such social groups, with such intelligence, are slaughtered in front of each other. Now, those slaughter methods would not be allowed in any slaughterhouse for a cow anywhere in the world, but they are allowed in Japan to kill dolphins, which is an absolute disgrace. But the actual value of one of those dolphins is only about $600. If that was really what it was all worth, this would all be over by now. No culture would keep that going. This is another darker side of this business, the care for the wild that the Taiji is focusing on. And that's the marine park and the dolphin area business. The dried dolphins from places like Taiji, the pretty big bottlenose dolphins that you might go and see in marine parks if you're stupid and ignorant enough not to think, are worth nearly $300,000 at the top of the market. Selling one of those dolphins will bring in more money than a fisherman could ever earn in a year. And that's what is keeping this whole slaughter going. It's not culture, it's capitalism. It's commercial greed in the blood of dolphins. And that greed is feeding the marine park business around the world. Now all of us, I hope, have had a chance to see Blackfish. What a wonderful piece of work alongside the Cove. Brave directors who worked hard to produce a film that has really brought home the horror behind the scenes of the commercial glossy PR machine that is SeaWorld. Now SeaWorld will tell you we're not involved in the Taiji hunts and the Taiji drive. Yes, but they are taking offspring from animals that are taken from Taiji. So they are part of it. And if SeaWorld is successful, then in the developing world, in the United Arab Emirates, in Egypt, in South Korea and other places, there is a demand for more marine parks. And when they open up, they've got to find their dolphins. And they will be heading to Taiji Cove or the Solomon Islands or other parts of the world where they will round up these animals in this most inhumane and disgusting way. So all of us have to ask ourselves this question. Why is it that these animals don't have enough protection? Why is it that we're able to exploit them for greed and put them in concrete jungles around the world? Why is it in the so-called modern civilized world we still want to see Flipper doing backdrops when we know that all his parents have been murdered, that he lives an inhumane life that's sending him gradually crazy in the most inhumane conditions in many parts of the world? It's no longer acceptable. It's no longer acceptable that a developed rich country like Japan can get away with it. It's no longer acceptable that the international community does nothing about it. There are a number of things that must happen here. Citing the international framework of the United Nations that actually does protect the trade in endangered species needs to uplist dolphins and needs to make sure that you can no longer take them to countries like Taiji and put them into marine parks. That should be happening. There should be an international drive to make that happen. We need to know more about the numbers of dolphins around our coastline and the pressure that they're under. We know that fishermen are killing them. We know that we're killing them with boats. We know that their numbers are being impacted by pollution and climate change. And there is no way that you can justify killing something like 20,000 a year in Japan without anyone taking a blind bit of notice. I'm pleased to see that Caroline Kennedy, as the new Japanese ambassador to the United States, has raised concerns. I'm pleased to see that MPs in the House of Commons are starting to debate and discuss this issue because people like you have raised it with them. I'm pleased to see the congressmen in the United States government is doing the same because people in America are quite angry, quite rightly angry about this too. But then governments have got to take some tough decisions. If the Japanese need slaughtering, then you've got to start threatening them with trade sanctions. You've got to say to the Japanese, if you want to start importing your car and your electronic products, we're going to put tariffs on them if you keep killing dolphins. Are those dolphins more valuable to you than your Nissan car business?